dragon. Fuckface. First, take a big step back and literally fuck your own face! Now, I don't know what kind of pan-Pacific bullshit power play you're trying to pull here, but Asia Jack is my territory. So whatever you're thinking, you better think again. Otherwise, I'm going to have to head down there, and I will rain down on a godly fucking firestorm upon you. You're going to have to call the fucking United Nations and get a fucking binding resolution to keep me from fucking destroying you. I am talking scorched earth, motherfucker. I will massacre you.
Who has that attitude, everybody?
Fuck you up.
Oh, I know someone who'd be like that. Let's have a listen. Hopefully it's one of those days. Or it might be the opposite. It has an up and down. What is today? We've got to have something fun. Hey.
Yeah, whoever this magician was, somebody could be seeing him as a cold-blooded person.
Sounds like it's a sad ending, so let's just truckle back.
Okay. Competition is over. Competition in the reverse.
Oh, that must be because of the sad ending. There you go. Sad ending makes sense now, doesn't it? That's no good. Why such things?
But it's starting to make sense.
I'm trying to heal the best I can, even though I'm getting kicked up the ass.
Once somebody,
Aren't you at least happy at home?
it's starting to make
Home is your
sense.
castle, at least.
Why
No matter
certain
what's
things are
around
not
you.
going
What's
the
a
way
great
they-
leader when you're in your castle? Right? Someone that goes, constantly. You can have moments. You do see that in movies that he's played. Right? You let me know.
When
Anyway.
it comes to doing you something, or when it comes
Perhaps
to
medication can help in certain
so they
fields.
don't know where they came from, or they don't have the rest of the knowledge. You know how, like, when we get downloads and stuff like that, like other people don't get.
They don't get it,
We can just
people.
explain everything, and it's not written down anywhere. Nobody can look it up, but it makes perfect sense, right?
I have to study most things real,
something like
people.
that. But whoever this is, they starting to see things your way. Maybe something happened to them.
That's not good.
Yeah, they're under judgment for some black magic that they did. They could be depressed.
Shit, they're talking about
Black magic
people
they
get
did.
judgment for black magic.
They're
Now,
under
that's something
judgment.
I've already been talking about, hey, Emma? And apparently you'd be crazy in this world talking about it, wouldn't you? Yeah, that's what you hear. But there is some strange things going on. YouTube are talking about some strange things when it comes to energy and the capability. In fact, they've actually got ads saying that they can draw out your future person. It's coming a little bit like what is it? When they go to the red planet and you've got psychics that are able to do certain things. You know, Total Recall. That's one of them. What do you reckon? Let's keep trucking on.
Somebody tried to hex or curse somebody. There was
They hexing and cursing. Shit. And you know what?
Whatever.
I'm as down as fuck. But you do what's best. I'm about to have something to eat, chill out for a minute. And I thought I'd chuck this on because I've already passed the crying in the corner. Have you ever heard of that kind of stuff? And you move on. When you grow up in a land of violence, what typically happens? They stop crying and they become the violent person themselves, the kid, don't they?
Yeah, that or like just.
Or they go the other way and turn into the bitch altogether. Huh? Well, they might go in between, but usually it's one or the other in those outcomes. And in me, back in my day and all the way through my life, if I get attacked, I go to, what we're best at, the barbaric self-defense. You're going to fuck with me, I'll fuck with you, kind of thing. Huh? It's been in this for a while. A lot of us can't handle it. In fact, there's adults that can't handle their children right now in certain areas because of those factors. But let's truck on for a minute with this thing here and see what she's got to say. We're all a thing. Right? She's a human being, but she's also a thing. That's a thing, isn't it? If they're not a thing, then they couldn't be human, could they, Emma? Did I just get you on that? So you're a thing, but you're a human thing.
A living thing.
And you're a living thing, but you're still a thing. So when they go, "Ooh, here comes the thing," you go, shit, well, I'm a thing too. So,
Awareness.
but that's a different thing though, isn't it?
It's shocking.
Have a mind boggles you?
It brings questions.
It's a thing though, right? That's another thing, right?
Somebody could be a Virgo,
Things, hey?
Gemini,
the world full of things out there. I was just talking about a thing about Israel. That's a thing too.
Some of you guys, that's their.
Isn't it amazing how we can use one thing in a lot of things? What do you reckon,
Somebody
Emma?
might want to work with you.
She's shaking her head. That's a thing?
They might want to work
Laughing's a thing.
in the realm.
Is thing
of
popular? Do you like the movie
ancestors
Thing?
that are held in high honor.
Does thing scare you? But that thing could be loving.
Try to tell somebody that they're
What's a
wrong.
loving thing?
Well, it ain't that thing.
If we got rid of thing in the words, would that muck everything up?
You were telling the truth.
Could be some sort of thing there.
Somebody could have thought you was just talking out the side of your neck.
What do you
because of
reckon?
What somebody had already told them
Yeah.
about
But anyway,
doing that
me and Emma
or
been trying to
whatever.
get upbeat, haven't we, Emma?
Yeah.
Even though we go through tragedy.
Somebody didn't even
And you know how you get more upbeat?
Black magic.
When you just get more and more to the point where you just know the answers. I keep having these like Matrix moments. You know when like Matrix and he's like tripping out in the mirror and he's like fucking he's realizing that it's just his world's not real. You can have moments like that. You finally it's like a kid when they get out of a kid to an adult. They realise Santa Claus is not real. Fucking Easter Bunny's not real. Right? You can have other steps like that. Doesn't mean you're crazy or anything. It actually means you're more sane than the ones that can say that you're crazy in errors. Like in that Matrix. So imagine the Matrix was true. Right, Emma? So let's do this thing. Imagine the Matrix was true. Would everyone in the Matrix say that he's going crazy? Wouldn't he? Talking about the shit he does. Yeah, that would. But really, who's the crazy one in that show Matrix in the end? It's the one still in the tubes, isn't it? The ones that thought he was crazy. And he's out rescuing, being the man. Right? And anyway, as he was chosen to be the man, as they fell in love with it. Shit.
So
What do you reckon?
somebody's like, damn, like,
Oh, sorry about that. That's a new thing of mine. What do you fucking reckon? Because once you go through enough of shit, you start going, shit, what do you reckon? You reckon that bomb's about to hit me again? It's been hitting over there, fucking bomb there, fucking. What do you reckon? Hey? Yeah. It's like shell shock. And you're out there going, yeah! Yeah! Where's the next bomb, motherfucker? Boom! Shit, what do you reckon? Yeah! Fucking prop head. Sorry. I've got shell shock. But I went the other way.
What hysterical.
Yeah! Yeah! Which one would you want?
Instead of,
I can still function.
instead of 21.
In a way, if something comes up, you'd be like, yeah! Right? The one that goes the other way, that one, it just stays crying. Right? Doesn't get up. It was crying the last shot. It cried now because this guy was here and nothing happened, right? Keeps crying. Well, he must be there. I ain't there. I've never been there in my life. That cry moments, sad moments in all different areas of why. Childish type of ones learning, oh shit, I shouldn't. And then hurt to the heart ones, right? Well connectedly ones, surrounding ones. What the fuck are they like that? I was born in North Korea, now it's like this, I can leave. Fucking hell. You know what I mean? So they claim so much, but yet they can't confront what they claim about. Isn't that surprising, Emma? Yeah. That reminds me of people around me, actually. Where they claim so much and they want to see so much, but then they don't. And then they do an action so they can collect what they need. As they're lazy and they only put it out in slow moments. See, if I was in a position already, I've already claimed, and I said it to Emma, that a lot of things would be already sold. You know, a bit of a Donald Trump kind of thing. Shit, if you didn't like me out, whoop, whoop, go, we wouldn't have this problem. Right? Now you're going to have to live with the problem. Right? Donald Trump's like, now things are going to have to get worse before they get better. I'm not a super miracle. Even miracles and Jesus and God, should I say, has wiped out things and showed you what worse is so it can get fucking better. You know what I mean? Donald Trump would know what I mean. What do you reckon, Emma? Probably. Well, Donald Trump's gone from the savior and then not the savior. And Donald Trump's used to that, isn't it? But that's what they're screaming at the moment, isn't it? They don't know what to scream, Donald Trump. They don't know. You got to program it. Program it right, isn't it? Right, let's chuck on something.
Blah 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 blah. Okay, that kind of energy. So somebody feels like you're not limited to your knowledge. Okay, that you have on.
You got
certain
knowledge,
subjects.
and you got this thing.
Alright,
We got that.
everybody
What's that?
believes
That's a
that
thing.
their knowledge is like
You can react with it.
They don't know.
Hey, did you know
nobody
sometimes
because
is
they
it your
don't have
adrenaline?
that knowledge.
Have you ever tried where you go to break something you can't? You could be weak, could have had no food, and all these things, right? But then there's a moment where you can be normal, like you feel normal, nothing's normal, and then you have extra strength or extra no strength. Someone sucking bitches to me, right? But what is study, and a study gives you an answer. That's all that is. And you know how you get that? By dowing it, by living, by being true, and hopefully in an area that will help you study the best. Try to figure that out. Bible says one thing, Google Bugger says another. Which one do you want? Take it as it resonates. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. You think I'm getting good at this or what? Wouldn't it be good if she chat with me? If I chatted on here, it would make nothing. In fact, I've already got live chats of what they were to me. I've talked about.
What's her name?
So I wouldn't come back, would I?
She was thoughts.
If I was on here, I only got
They either
negative
called her
outcomes
thoughts
or
concubine
a wacko outcome.
his lover.
Yeah.
But she was
Makes
just
no
like
sense.
thought,
That's what a
but in
wacko outcome
female
is.
form.
Huh?
Okay, I
Use
forgot
lady,
her
like,
name
huh?
right off the top.
A little bit like
Alright,
humans. If
if y'all don't
Jesus
know,
rocked up, they're killing
then
them.
some people might
Huh?
not know
And then they get
that
another 2,000 years of
okay,
sin.
that's another thing that
Like,
somebody might not
that
have known.
fucking grew.
That there
Well,
is a female hermetess as
look,
well.
they're going to stir up and get rid of all the
What's
satellites,
her name?
so you don't know who that
Okay,
group
so
is, and they're going to run off on
my
high.
yacht
Then you'd be like,
is
in the next 2,000 years,
like
you've got to try to find them.
see
Isn't that crazy?
shit.
Yeah, but that's how it rolls.
Okay, was his female
Look
counterpart.
for them. They're like, find me, find me. I want to play hide and go fucking seek.
If y'all
Shit.
look her up,
They want to
find
play
out
hide and go seek. So they need to turn their lights on.
it's
I'm already here. I'm thinking,
SH.
look at me. I'm the fish in the dark water.
but
Does that mean
that was,
I'm here to help
somebody
or here to
that-
bite? Perhaps I can do both. But
she
perhaps
was
it
somebody that knew
depends
just
how
as much
you
as him,
approach
but
me.
in a female
How's that for a
Okay.
fish creature?
Like it's like
In the dark.
how
You know what I mean?
to my
I'm in the dark.
like getting, it was like she was.
And, and you're all out there. You know what you get with the outcomes? You get little fish, and they're like, ah, ah. And the other one's going, don't go to the light. Don't go to the light. I'm confused. And the other one's like, oh, I'll go to the light anyway. And then they get an outcome. Sometimes it's like, hey, look, what a dickhead. And then sometimes like, curiosity killed the fucking cat. So before you do that, you do a little bit of research. Make sure it's not too long, because while you're researching, another one of those lights might just sneak up behind you.
Knew a lot about, like, so it was like she was his equal, like the Sphinx, right?
Like the finks and winks, right?
Like he would be the male, she would be the female. Like
Holy
something about
Madonna!
that dynamic. I don't know. Okay, maybe somebody.
Alright, let's just skip some of this because I've got shit to eat. You know what I mean?
You got shit to eat.
Yeah!
Right.
Your mom and dad remember goes, you eat pieces of
Shit for breakfast. I'm not having brekkie though. I'm having dinner.
Whoever this is, somebody's now-
But they send me so much shit. I'm gonna have it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Who's in charge
It's
of-
fucked. Since they rocked up, they gave me shit.
somebody was doing to you guys?
Literally and everything. Isn't that fucking hilarious?
Going on for so long.
Even recorded things goes right back. They think it's fucking funny. But luckily, we tip a certain way
They wanna know
of weirdness.
why.
And you don't go back. Eh? I'm never going to be who I used to be. Do you think I will be, Emma? Do you think I've forever changed? Enough shit has pissed me off where I've forever changed enough in a certain way? Yeah, do you think I'm as loving as I used to be? No. Isn't that sad? And that's because I've been attacked so much. And once that happens, you make something wicked forever. It's just the fucking truth. And so we've got to hope that we can stop these people for doing such pleasure things to such people. Isn't that right, Emma? Yeah. Anyway, let's just truck on for a minute. Now, my mission is to make sure that these people who do these such things feel it just like they made others feel it. And 1,000 times more. What do you reckon out there, everyone? What do you reckon, Emma? They'd love to talk about that kind of stuff. If I can achieve that, if that was a wish, that would be a wish I would ask for. Wouldn't that be good out there? Wouldn't that be good that God did that for you kind of thing, people? That's how he solved it. What do you reckon? Yeah, I reckon it'd be fucking a beautiful one. You put them right in the place how they did it to others. Make them squirm and cry in the corner so bad that they die doing it. What do you reckon? That means they have a heart attack or something. You know what I mean, people? Because that does happen, right?
So somebody's embracing their
What do you reckon?
thinking, focusing on the outside world. As long as nobody get hurt, let it rip.
They thought that they will bring back the teenager me that I healed through. Because that's what's here, isn't it, Emma? The old me. They thought it was fucking funny. You don't want the old me when you become my list.
A crown and achievement brought its own heavy responsibilities.
And I'll be right in your face about it, and some not too. Because you don't want to be my enemy. Because you are a person that shouldn't be anything.
Things are not.
That's how I see things like that. Now, when you become selfish and you see things like that, what happens? You become a fucking tyrant. Right, Emma? Yeah, fucking oath you do. You don't want to become that. That's what happens when your heart dies, because usually you've gone through something. With Hitler, he attacked the Jews because the Jews put him through shit. Even though they try to say he was Jew, it didn't matter. They just cast him out. That's why he had those opinions. The Jews created their enemy. Isn't that sad? And humans continually to do it in their ego pleasures.
Remember I just said somebody was refusing to answer a question.
Most of it's because it gives them their ego pleasures. As they like to talk about it. You know what I mean? Emma? As they say, if you're poor, you're nothing. Right?
Because they did their research here.
Yeah. So what do you reckon? Let's just skip a little bit more. What do they research? Looks like a whole bunch of gibberish. How could this help? I see this a lot.
It's like a mama's boy.
Huh?
That you living rent free in their head. This person wanted to put you in harm.
We've heard that one.
How to get hurt? Let it rip.
Let it rip. Green light, everybody. That's what she says. She actually talks about the green light, and that's what we got. That's when they bully.
Daddy didn't expect that.
When the green light rocked up, what did I get? Some malfunctions to the max.
They could have did something.
So what does that mean, Emma?
Alright, and has encountered
Green light for malfunctions? What do you reckon?
Alright.
Possibility, yeah.
Like somebody that's divinely
The
protected.
wall.
Remember I said they could have
They try to be you.
They thought they was
I
gonna
talked
get you
about the
back or
wall.
whatever for walking away.
Huh?
And they thought
And then we
you
had a
were your own.
sick thought outcome.
We got fake friends being pretending,
Fake friends and
being
stuff.
buddy with you. They
Like
can't
10.
change the fact
That's
that
actually a lot of the world out there. I actually talk about now. To get along with these people, it's weird, isn't it? That you got to end up pretending. Isn't that weird? So you don't get attacked and stuff like that. You could be real, or you could be 10. It's hard to tell when that starts happening, eh, Emma? Be like, what the fuck? Now I'm going really Matrix and handing. Wow. You know what I mean? But that's the truth. Isn't that sad? And so you can only tell if they're real by the actions they've previously done or continuing to do onto you. Wouldn't that be right? That is it. That's the cool thing about Tao. You'll learn that as you go, and you get a memory, so you know. You know what I mean? It's pretty cool. Anyway, let's keep trucking on from it.
Because somebody just was being lazy.
Lazy.
Knowledge
They love all these. What's all the fancy hurt words, Emma? Lazy, no good, scoundrel, poor little ting ting. Oh, words of positivity. Yay.
The knowledge about you that they didn't know. Okay, collective.
Well, we know a thing about a thing or two, but they wouldn't want to know the thing or two. Oh, this one hopefully is going to be a good, funny one. What's your sense of humour? We know this one. What's going on here? We've got this sense of humour. We've got to mix these sense of humours. I was just talking about Israel, right? About what happens when you screw up the mix of sense of humour, right? And ways of living to get to a fair balance. At a slow step. But you have to start. And you have to be right. You don't make up bullshit so you can get the next election and then 4 years later. You know why you fail in that area? Because of that outcome, Emma. And they try to get this G20, but then 4 years later, there's a new leader and he goes, fuck the G20, right? Then there's G19. G what? G 4 years maybe, or 3 years. G fantasy. G, let's collect some money from some countries. Because that's what they did. Now countries go, oh gee, why did I do that? Fucking G20. It cost me $20 billion. Shit. Hey, where'd that G money go? It went for a G5. Actually, that'd be old stuff. What they got now? G9s? G8s? G7?
G20s for a while.
Riding like a GG8. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just a joke. See, that's why they don't want you educated. Because when you see, they want you over there busy all the time, mama, or in factory, right? Stuck like that. Absorb your holidays. Be busy. And if you don't educate, keep educating. Which is, I was lucky enough to do that as I'm sick a lot. And instead of wasting my time on video games and shit, I moved to other fields, didn't I? I don't stay to one thing. It's just never been me. Huh? So I eventually move on. Huh? I went to other fields and got to learn some shit. Then I got to this part where I wanted to go one last field. I got to a part where I'm like, well, fuck, I'm going to get bored. I'm stuck in this spot. Nothing really notices you. Family's not, I was having problems in all sorts of areas. And I thought, I'll go one more out. Let's go to this when we're down and fucking out. Where are we meant to go to, Emma? To God. So I thought, I'll get into God, talk about God. Get serious for once. That's going to be my thing. And I'm going to start a thing on YouTube, which is what I did. Talk about my life and see how it goes. Isn't that right, Emma?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I found out a lot since then. A lot of interferences, a lot of bullshit, a lot all about this place and about God. Pretty crazy, huh? But that's how you do it, people. And you find in the Bible, right, it's not all fucking popcorn and fucking candy. In fact, it's nightmares. And it's a hell of a test to be righteous. It's nearly like you got to be a saint. But not. Right? Because if you be a saint, you're going too far. Right? You turn into the bitch. A saint's like a slave in the end. A slave can be like a saint to people. Right? That's what a saint does naturally. I don't need to be a slave. Yay! You want to be a saint, Emma? Shit. So that means you're going to get money hardly enough and you put it all out and you work your ass off. God's your savior and all this shit. You're going too far. Right? You can choose that. Who knows? You might like it. There's always something that likes something. Right? That's a thing. Right? But I wouldn't want to be a saint. Right? I've learnt too much to go, what? Listen to him tell me to sniff a toilet or something. Because he told me to. He's going to give me $1 million and I can give it to the fucking charity over there. But I'm still going to go have to sniff another toilet for this dude. Because he's got fucking $5 million and they all got too much money. And they get sick in their head. And they pay people to sniff toilets. Happens all the time, eh, Emma? Yeah. Fucking crazy. What a world, mate. What a world. Hey, let's chuck on from it. Of what rich people do.
So this person
What do you reckon?
was being troubled by their own whatever they wanted to believe.
Whatever they want to believe.
Whatever they wanted to believe.
I better go have something. As they love to delay, but I always ask God, if we get a delay, let's make something out of it. You know what I mean? And I'm just going to quickly heat up this. I've got 3/4 going. Nice and soft. Just give me a quick heat now. They're actually starting to cool down. And that's something to eat. Yes. I'm doing a clip. Why do I do a clip now? So something can rave on that they're me. How weird is that? And I've always been me. And people can know the truth. They really want to see it, but they won't allow it. It's a thing being going around. So there's things everywhere. Some chicken steaks. Oh, that smell is great. That seasoning they put on there. And that is my dinner. And Emma had some salad and she's going to have a little bit of that too. So how much do you guys eat? I said, we're in an expensive world, and if it's hard enough to pay for bills already, we can only do so much. You can only sacrifice in so many areas, can't you? Right? So that's what it's all about. Isn't it? And then we do collective sacrifices and outcomes collectively, which is very sad, those ones. It's collective outcomes of a lot of sacrifices that just go like wasted money. But anyway, I'm going to heat that up. All these people have got authorities and shit. And we're waiting for some outcomes. We all put out the line to see the outcomes that we may get. And we're curious to know what they will push. You know what I mean? And for what? And for what?
Somebody breaking up with somebody.
Guess it might be for money, outcomes, promotions.
For
Who
believing
knows?
something that wasn't true. Maybe
But the
you
best
never
thing
know.
is to try to connect, and hopefully we can be real and get out the fake facade out there. And see you later.